Hey everybody, this is Grace and I'm going to go drive around a little bit, make a video. It's a beautiful day today. We've been having lots of rain, floods and all, but we didn't have so much flood, but this part of Texas did. But anyway, right now it says it's 86 degrees or 84. 84 degrees. It's beautiful, seriously. Beautiful. But anyway. Okay, anyway. Today we didn't have much to do. I don't think we went out. It's 3:20 p.m. today. I don't think we went anywhere. It's May 27th, 2025. So I don't let myself be at home all day long if I can help it. Any day. There's a bunny, two bunnies, and what in the world is that? Some kind of bird. Nope, that's a squirrel. But two bunnies. Anyway, that was literally a squirrel moment, but with bunnies. I'd have to have cute fuzzy bunnies. Anyway, but tomorrow I have to go to a doctor, and Adam's going to go with me. It's in a town. It's not very close to here. It's not too far. But, well, the place that we're going is kind of a straight shot down one of these roads. And it's just a lot of traffic, and it takes longer than usual, of course, because of traffic. But after that, the next suburb down, let's see, I'll go through, I think, this suburb, including this one. It's the third suburb down, the suburb of Dallas, and then the next. Okay, that's way too fast. Way too fast. This is 30, not 60. Nope, not 60. There are kids around here, a lot of kids, especially since it's a park. I get so upset with that. Seriously, so upset with people who drive so fast. Anyway, the fourth suburb down is there's a restaurant that we used to eat a lot when we were young. It's a buffet called Ponchos. This one I'll name. It was so wonderful. Ponchos. We loved Ponchos. The food was so great. Then they started closing them like crazy, and that one, it takes about 45 minutes. We don't know. We haven't. I don't think I've ever gone from here to there. Ever. I know where it existed because I used to go there, but I don't think I've went from here to there. Anyway, he's been saying he craved it. I said, well, some still exist. So he's going to go with me to do that. And then I had to make an appointment today with, I have 3 appointments next week. Well, actually, I don't know if I'm going to have the third one because I'm kind of tired of being jacked around. I think that's what it is. They had given, when I was in the hospital back when was it, March, right? And I was told I had a heart failure. The doctor there gave me a referral to a doctor. Well, I called that and they said, well, that doctor doesn't have any appointments open until whatever time it was. It was supposed to be a follow-up, and it was that far off. It was way far off. So they said, well, this other one has it. So they gave me this other one, and he's not there. And I don't like him overall. His mind, I don't think, is there. He just wants to rush in, say a few things, and then rush out. And somebody's going to work on your heart because they want to do an angiogram. If somebody's going to work on my heart, I want to know why. I want to know if is there an alternative. But he had basically said it, but he was in a hurry because he was going on vacation. He was going to be out for a while. And then, anyway, I called today because I wanted to say, well, I want to have an appointment with the surgeon. They said, well, that's not how we do it. I'm like, what do you mean? The doctor who's going to do the procedure, I don't get to meet him, speak to him. They say, no, what we do, we have those we do the surgery, but that's separate from the actual cardiologist. Then we have the cardiologist, and I'm like, who see patients, really? And they just refer you to the doctor to have the surgery. I have never heard anything like that at all, ever. Anyway, they said that the doctor that is my cardiologist, not the one from the hospital, but the one that, I wound up getting, that he's back from his vacation. I heard more than one story, so it's all kind of weird. But anyway, they just suddenly found out he had decided to come back. I mean, how does that sound to you? He had suddenly decided to come back early. He would have been out, what? I don't know. A week? I don't even know how long. I'll have to check it out. But come on, I really have wanted to see somebody other than him, honestly. Because he's really, really, really young looking. Young, very young. Now that shouldn't be a problem. He should know his job. He's trained, all that. But he acts immature. Okay, like he, practically stomped his foot and said, "Oh, you're not letting me just do what I think I need to do." Well, no, it's a discussion. It's not a grown-up, me, just discussing it with a child. I really wish I could have said that. Because he practically, seriously, if he would have stomped his foot, it would have been the whole of it. Childish temper tantrum. And he did it twice the last time I saw him. I just kind of, oh man, really? When I get away from these things, because there's usually so much happening, when I get away and I really think about it, I'm like, man, if I had only, if I had that on camera, really. But I don't want somebody who's an immature, has to have his way. This is supposed to be a grown-up discussion between a patient and the doctor, and it's not doctor-centered. It's patient-centered. And they cannot deny that if he got his degree here in Texas, here in the United States, I don't know which state, but he can't deny that, to say that they didn't teach him that. Come on now, really? I seriously doubt. I learned it, and I'm not in medical, and I learned it at university. So come on, it's not about them making money. I've read to see how much they can make off of that. It's like, whoa. I mean, that's how much is bill, but what I have a good idea of. I used to do medical billing. I have a good idea of how much they would earn off of that. And yeah, I mean, I suspected that all from the beginning anyway. I've worked when I was a career student, over 20 years I was, but some of the jobs I did was surgery scheduling, medical billing, interim office manager, for surgeons, orthospinal neuro. And anyway, the sun is a little bit warm right here. It's peeking through the trees just a little bit. But I really do feel like I need to feel some sun, feel some warmth. But anyway, I don't know. What I'm upset about is, like, I took an EKG. I don't know when it was. It was probably in December. Okay, this is May. Close to the end of May. And I took an EKG, I guess, around then. And the doctor, who is my regular doctor, he did it, and he said, "I'm surprised there's nothing wrong at all." Okay, so how did it go from that? There was nothing wrong. And the next one, I don't know if I did 3 or 4, because I think the hospital did one. I don't know if that other one did one too, because I don't think I got any. And then the last time I went to this cardiologist, my cardiologist, the young guy, he did it, his staff did another one, so that would maybe 4. But how did it all of a sudden? And I asked my doctor. I had made an appointment with him because He's my age, and I was tired of this. And he's real nice, and he calmed my nerves, but I still don't know what those EKGs mean. The results of them, nobody's told me. Don't you think I should know that? Don't you think so? I do. And they wanted to do the surgery right away, of course, get on the books. See, I'm sarcastic, not because of anything, but I worked in that field. You see? Well, it's not only that, it's just experience in life. When everything's rush. No, I deserve to have the information and to be able to make my decision for me without a doctor throwing a baby temper tantrum 2 in a row. Okay. 1 is too many. He did 2 in a row. No, it's my decision. He said, well, it is, of course, your decision. I didn't tell him. He said, it's your decision, but you're just not letting me do what I think should be done. Or he said something along that line. Well, no, I want to do what I think should be done. And he'd already said something about there's so many things, some of it could just be something small, I think is what he said. And there's some things that could be just something small, just something, I don't know. His whole words like, it could have been nothing practically. Just a time right then, or maybe, something was off. Because how did it go? And when I told my doctor that, my regular doctor, PCB, the one my age, he said, yeah, really, how did it? Okay. Go from nothing wrong, to all of a sudden, let's do an angiogram. You see? And me not having it explained to me why. And you wouldn't believe the phone call I had when trying to schedule the appointment to see that this is the person who's actually going to do the procedure. It was like, this is ridiculous. Now they have a like when I have had to try to call triage nurses, for whatever reason they have their triage nurses that call from not from Dallas area. Okay, it's not from the Dallas Metroplex at all. And I have called them numerous times, and they're no nonsense, man. They don't play this crap. And they get the job done. They'll call these places. I don't know how stern they are or what they are. They must really read them the riot act or something. And the people here were call me back and, like this. Seriously. But I have actually considered, this is my life, because I have so many things, so many reasons why I say this. I've actually considered going there, getting a hotel for however long, and get a second opinion there. And if it came down to it, I'd have it done there. This over here just seems so much like, let's get some money. Let's get on the books. Let's get it fast. Come on. And then don't spend any time. You're not going to explain these EKGs to me that cause you to make this decision that somebody's going to go intrusively into my heart? Really? And not explain it to me? Give me a choice. Give me the choices that I made. That you're throwing a baby temper tantrum. Just seeing how it's all coming together. Seriously. And I wonder if it would be any different to the other place. I have a feeling it would. I have a feeling it's what it is. It's more of the different places in Texas. Seriously, I think the doctors I have seen, I'm not saying all of them, but the ones I've seen, the healthcare providers, I don't know any of them that I actually liked. Seriously, I really don't. And it's because of this kind of this kind of stuff. I was going to say shenanigans. That's an old-fashioned word. But really, this stuff. Let's hurry. Let's get money. Let's say surgery. Yeah, we need surgery. Like that first one I saw using this insurance. I wasn't supposed to see her. It was so messed up. Not by me, by them. And I wound up seeing this woman. I didn't know her. And she was a nurse practitioner, and she charged up close to around $1,000 between her visit and all the tests she had. And I called the insurance. I canceled the insurance after that, but then I got it back the next year. But I said, is this what I'm facing? They just go and they charge up a bunch of stuff, do a bunch of tests, do whatever they want. They don't discuss it with me, and they don't even talk to me about how much is my share. I didn't know how much my share would be back then, and I mean, I just got it, and I hadn't even had a chance, to really read it and get a thorough idea. And I was always had been paying for my own, for so long, and it totally turned me off that she did something like that. Didn't even discuss it, just had to, tell me that, we're going to run the usual blood test and this and that. And it was almost, combined, almost 1,000. It was around 900 something. It's just really, what nerve. And then that whole hospital, when I actually was, one time, I had all the weird stuff going on since 2023, with the my naval, and nobody, different hospitals, totally different system before I got that insurance, and then after, when I had the insurance, nobody telling me what's going on, why is this happening. It was really bad. The swelling, the weight gain, the crazy weight gain. Then, it's just so much. But I do wonder what it would be like going there, because, like I said, there's no nonsense. That's the way my mind is putting it, no nonsense. The stuff up here, I feel like it's a bunch of crap. It's a bunch of nonsense. It's a bunch of, they're not going to put their signature, John Hancock or John, whatever, their signature on it, because somebody can sue them. Oh, they might sue them. Well, do your job and do it right. How about that? The mentality that I'm running across, I'm not saying anybody else would. I just could be just as that unlucky. But the mentality really does seem to be, it's all about them, to them. All about them. And not about the patient. The patient is just somebody holding that, like I've said so many times, holding that insurance card with dollar signs dangling off of the bottom of it. And that's all they see. Now, I have plenty of reasons to say that, too. It's unbelievable. Okay, I decided to go home. I know here I'll be sitting under, within the shade, because the sun's on the other side of the house. We have a big house, 2-story house. So, anyway, as I was driving down, one of the roads to get here, there was a guy coming out, and he was smirking real big. He was a young guy, to put something in the back of his SUV, and I stopped right there. I had stopped right there, and he came out, and I'm holding up my hands like I did yesterday, or the day before, what it was, holding up my hands going, look how close this is, because they park so close. It's SUV, I say a regular size, SUV, and they'll park next to this truck, this big truck. It's huge, it's a regular passenger truck, I guess you call them, I don't know, but it's a big one. It's above a truck, and it hauls whatever that is, where they put stuff. I don't know what stuff they put in there, what it is. I kept thinking that they were something like part of a band, or a, I don't know, rodeo something. This is Texas. Because they've had parties there before. And I'm thinking it could be more like a band or something. And they have this big, trailer, I guess. I don't know. They store all their stuff in there. And they attach it to it, or they just leave it there and unattach the truck. But it's so big, it's huge. Plus they have those big side view mirrors, and quite often they forget to put them in. And it makes it, I mean, people have to slow down, have to come to like practically a crawl to get through there without hitting something, either that other person's SUV or that monstrosity. Whatever. You get what I'm saying? So I did that. The guy was just smirking because legally they can park there. But now, here's the thing, and I wonder, I really need to call and ask. If an emergency vehicle, like here in Texas, I don't know if it's the same where you live, but if if I've had this heart failure, if something happened and I had to call for, an EMT, an ambulance, could an ambulance actually make it through there? And here in Texas, they come with fire trucks. Okay, and these are huge things. These are little bitty things. Would they be able to make it through there? What would happen to me in the process if they couldn't make it through there? And what would they do? Would they just turn around and say, well, we can't make it through there? You know? And it's just ridiculous the way people are so self-centered, or they just don't think beyond their own noses. I don't think. I think, like I've said so many times, sometimes I think I can just, in the sentence there, they don't think. Really. And then I noticed I had the little bubbles, and it was, I had 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 reminders of my appointment tomorrow. They called me earlier today to verify that I was going to be there. I've been waiting 5 months for this appointment. They said they put me on a list that in case anybody cancels, they'd call me. 5 months they didn't call me. And I really need to see this one. This is the one I think it needs to make all the decisions. And other than this usual stuff that a PCP would do, other than that. But anyway, and I'm like, I had 3 reminders of my appointment, 3, and that's just today. And I could have woken up to some this morning and just delete them, because I get them for any appointments, and I have open right now, let's see, coming up, or upcoming, let's see, tomorrow's one of them, and 4, at least 4, but then there's 5, and there could be another one. I've had so many appointments this year. Unbelievable. And I can't remember all of their names, too. I'm serious. I'm horrible with names as it is already. But, what is going on here? Anyway. But these amount of texts they send, I don't know what you call them. It's just something from their portal. You know, they're usually automatic. I think they call them automatic letters, or sometimes they call them letters. And I don't know what else you would call them. But I get so many of them. And then I also get a lot of bills, and I go and I look at the bill and say, well, what is it for? Why can't they have it on the one that they say you owe $22? Why can't it say for what? And then you have to go do some little research and find it and download it and this and that and go to the second page. Nothing says that there's a second page, but I figured it must be somewhere. And still doesn't explain what it's for. I just keep pushing pay. And my credit card pay. And what I pay, by the way, is so little. And as far as these tests, I don't think I pay anything usually. And seriously. So I just don't like somebody just taking it upon themselves without discussing with me what they were going to do. And beyond, the way that she had put it was something like, this is the regular test. Well, a regular test for somebody like me is just what they call it, a lipid panel. Just a regular thing they check for, since I'm diabetic. The cholesterol, the Basically, that's it. It's for the diabetes and the cholesterol. But no, she ran up all those. And it was pages, I printed it out. It was pages and pages and pages and pages. And the doctor that I brought to, was not the same, not part of that, but they were in network. And she was a nurse practitioner. She said, "Oh, I don't use that. If we need it, we'll test them ourselves." You see, it's to me like this is a game for them of see how much money they can bring in, Okay, anyway, I did not plan on venting about this. I did not plan on this being my video at all. But I used my, YouTube channels, and well, I have different reasons for different channels. But when I do videos like this, it's about venting. I'm not trying to teach anybody anything. I do them on people like narcissistic people, toxic people all around, these kinds of things. But I do them for me. Seriously. I don't want to, I rant. Get it. I don't believe in letting stuff bottle up inside of me. And, there are situations where at the moment, what can you say? Like I say, sometimes you got to be away from it to think about it and all that. Especially when it comes to doctors, man. They will throw out a bunch of stuff and you don't have time to process before they're out that door. At least my experience. So forget, it's not all. It's my experience. I know a doctor that for, I don't know how many years I went to her. And her visits within there were like 2 minutes with me. 2 minutes and she's out. I'm gonna go look and see if they have any samples. She would never come back. Not that appointment. The whole whopping 2 minutes. Yeah. And the other ones are just as bad. But anyway, but I didn't plan on this as to be vent. But this is what I do. Now, if it sounds like if I sound like a negative person, no, I vent it out. And I am not. I am actually a cheerful person. But when it comes to this kind of stuff, I'm not telling people. Nobody knows the people that I'm talking about. They will never know the people I'm talking about. And I've been online. I had my first computer in 1982. And this works for me like journaling. At some point, it became my kind of journaling. And it helps me. I don't think I'd be alive now if I didn't have it. I really don't. Because it's my way of doing, like I said, journaling, venting, ranting. My pressure release valve. All the stuff, the weirdest stuff you can imagine goes on in life. This of dealing with doctors that are just so much money motivated. It's their own, what they can get out of it. Without even, like I said, like I'm just I am more than just an insurance card with dollar signs dangling off of it. Yeah. So it helps me to vent. Even though I had this heart failure, like I said, I don't think I would have been alive this long if I hadn't learned how to, I've been doing this videos. My original channel will be 11 years in August. But I didn't really vent much on that channel. And but the other one is 10 years, okay, last month. And if I hadn't learned how to do that, but before then I used to write stuff. So online, some people call them blogs. They weren't called that back then. And different things about different topics. Then I did a lot to vent. And I think I would have, that was at least from the 1990s, even before that. Sometime I'd say in the 1990s. And so I think that kept me alive. This is what's kept me alive, because unbelievable stuff I've seen. Anyway, I'm wrapping this up. I'll talk to you on another video. Bye.